Just leave it alone. Don't trade anybody. Just leave it alone and just let us go through this offseason program. Let us do our thing. But obviously, some news has come up the last couple days on a trade, and the Eagles could be trading one of their own once again. The Eagles signed one of their undrafted free agents, and we have a lot more to talk about as well with Saquon Barkley on the Madden cover. So let's get straight into it all.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope it's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone's doing well today. So a lot to discuss. Now, first thing I want to go over as of right now is we kind of heard some news on the Tanner McKee trade rumors. Yes, I mean, at this point, guys, like I kind of want to leave this. I kind of just want to leave this roster alone, like just for like 5 minutes. It'd be nice, okay? Because finally we get to see Tanner McKee as a backup quarterback, not playing in the second half of these preseason games. We saw some playing time from him in a couple games last year, and we saw some good things. Thought the Giants game, he played pretty good. There was probably a couple passes that were a little bad. You know, it probably could have turned to 2 picks, but didn't. But I thought he, for his first couple games as an actual starter or when he had to come into play, I thought he did really well. But finally, you have him in an offseason now, and you kind of want to see what he's got. You're going to build his value. So there has been some news. Now, I don't know who kind of came up with this, and this has really been going around probably since Derek Carr from the New Orleans Saints retired. And, maybe a lot of people think that Tanner McKee might go join Kellen Moore as a starting quarterback for the Saints. But on top of everything else, we heard some other things as well from some reporters. Reuben Frank had some things to say about what this could really turn into. Now, he says, now if McKee plays well in the preseason, Howie Roseman is going to get trade offers for McKee. He probably already has. And if someone offers a first-round pick, you take it. You just do. But I wouldn't expect that to happen. A third-round pick? No way, not enough. The question, would you take a second-rounder for McKee? And I would really be reluctant. That's a valuable pick. And the Eagles have drafted guys like Brian Dawkins, Eric Allen, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, Randall Cunningham, and Hurts in the second round. You can get a Joe Flacco, Marcus Mariota type veteran, but is kind of a guy going to keep the thing rolling if Hurts gets hurt. Maybe in a couple of years, Kyle McCord can be that guy, but who knows? Dorian Thompson-Robinson, don't think so. There's no doubt in my mind McKee can be a plus NFL starter, and he'll probably get an opportunity if he hits free agency after the 26 season. But right now, the Eagles need him more than they need more picks. And I probably agree with him on that because, okay, look, if there was a team right now that straight up said, hey, we'll take Tanner McKee, we'll give up a second-round pick to go get him, I feel like you got to pull the trigger there. Sorry, but for a third-rounder, I'll probably pass up. For a second-rounder, I mean, I think a third-rounder is a lot of value too, but a second-rounder, I think you got to pull the trigger on a trade like this. If someone's offering you a second-round pick, I don't care if it's for 26 or 27. I don't even care where it's for. Next year would be great. Just want to see him flourish. I want to see him just do well in this offense. And yeah, I mean, look, you got Kyle McCord now. Dorian Thompson kind of is like the better fit, just because he's got a lot of similar type skill set to Jalen Hurts, where they don't have to prepare 2 different offenses in a week to week, because realistically, guys, when you have a Tanner McKee that's more of a pocket passer and Jalen Hurts is more of a read option run type guy, you have to prepare 2 different offenses. And I feel like it's a lot harder for the coaching staff to do that, but at this point, they're probably used to it. They probably don't care about it that much. McKee is going to play in this preseason, okay? And he's going to build up some value. And if he plays really well, you never know who gets hurt in the league when it comes to quarterbacks. There's already a couple that are hurt right now, and one of them is, well, obviously Derek Carr retired. He had the shoulder injury, was going to get surgery, opted out of the surgery, and now is retired. And, Kellen Moore can have a lot of interest. We talked about the Saints a million times, and I get it. I get it. This is what the Eagles do. What did I say when the Eagles trade for Kenny Pickett? Okay, they were going to build his value for a couple years and let him go. And it only took 1 year. He played in literally 2 games, not even 2 games because he got hurt with the rib injury. He played in literally a game and a half and they still got a 5th-round pick for him. That's value. That's a steal. Like, the Eagles aren't trying to keep these guys long term. They want to build their value up for draft picks. And let me tell you, like, if there's a team out there that has a lot of interest in what the Eagles are doing with some of these quarterbacks that are in the back end of this roster that have some value and want to trade for those guys, Howie Roseman pulls the trigger on trades like this. It's not like he's never done this before. If you trade McKee, then you're kind of in trouble. Then you're really hoping that Kyle McCord or Dorian Thompson, hopefully can do really well. But you can't put too much on 2 guys in their first year with this team, and maybe they're learning a new scheme, they're learning a new offense, something like that. So you can't put too much weight on both of those guys behind Jalen Hurts. But if Jalen Hurts, has to be out for a game, you really got to depend on one of these guys. And I don't know if getting rid of Terry McKee right now is really the smartest decision to make unless it's really worth it. The Eagles have already been down that road, not with Nick Sirianni especially, maybe having a veteran quarterback behind Jalen Hurts, but you got to pay these guys a lot of money. That's why the Eagles don't go after veteran quarterbacks anymore. They don't go after veteran guys behind Jalen Hurts because it's just way too much, man. These guys make a lot of money to sit behind a starting quarterback. A nice big chunk of cap just to have one of those backup veterans on your team, they're expensive. And that's why the Eagles probably like to produce guys or take guys that haven't had the best of careers and kind of turn them around, get their value up a little bit, and then ship them off for some draft capital. And I think that's been what the Eagles have been trying to do the last few years. Let me know what you guys think about, obviously, the Tanner McKee trade rumors and things like that. If he plays really well in preseason, would you trade him? Just let me know. Well, Saquon Barkley is on the Madden cover of Madden 26, okay? I haven't played Madden in a long time. I've liked the 2K games a lot more, and I really don't like the Frostbite engine too much when it comes to Madden because it's just an old, outdated graphic system that just doesn't work. And I could go on a rant of Madden for so long, and I just really don't play it that much. I watch a lot of people play it. It seems like they have a good time in playing it. But yeah, Saquon Barkley is officially on the cover, and the Madden curse. See, for me, I don't play it, so I don't really believe in it that much. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey was on the front of it at one point, and he only played 4 games that season, okay? Saquon Barkley is deserving of it. I mean, literally all the records he's been breaking, the 60-plus yard touchdowns, most in history, breaking Terrell Davis regular season to playoff record in a single season. I mean, breaking LaShawn McCoy's single season record. I mean, we know what Saquon Barkley did last year, and it's almost impossible to ignore that, okay? And I think it's great that he's on the cover of Madden. I have really no issue of it. The Madden covers, the curse hasn't been a curse every single year. But I think he's well-deserving. From a New York Giant lost in a city where, he didn't know what was happening with his career to being with the Eagles for 1 year and turning into a gold jacket type player. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, his story. I mean, like I said, if Saquon comes to the Eagles, has the season he has, and the Eagles win the Super Bowl on top of it, that's just a story that's going to be on ESPN 30 for 30 in the future. Like, we're going to be talking about this for 20, 30, 40, 50 years when we're grown men and we're old and we can't even walk anymore. It's just insane. Well, the Eagles have signed one of their undrafted free agents, an offensive lineman, Marcus Tate from Clemson. So some of the information on him as of right now. So 2,500 snaps, okay? So he started 37 of 42 games. Is primarily a left guard, has played both tackle spots as well. And as a freshman, now in 21 as a freshman, he played in 12 games, 615 snaps. He only allowed 6 QB hurries, 2 quarterback hits, and 2 sacks while playing most of the snaps at left guard. So they're getting a guy that can play 3 positions, but more primarily for a left guard, more offensive line help and competition for your offseason program with him. So that's where we stand with another undrafted free agent signed. Probably a few more to sign. I don't know if Makuba has been signed yet. I don't think he's been signed yet. One of our top picks in the draft, and probably a couple more guys. So we're almost done. We're almost getting there. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. So we talked about Tanner McKee trade. We talked about Saquon Barkley on the Madden cover. They signed an undrafted free agent. A lot going on. Potentially, if you have some value in Tanner McKee, I wonder if the Eagles would pull a trigger on a trade like that. for a pretty high draft pick. You never know what you can get, but this is going to be a wait and see approach from me. I'm not pulling the trigger in my brain on anything of what I want yet because I really want these guys to play and really show out, and I think that's what the Eagles are going to do. Let these guys do as well during training camp to the preseason games and really see these guys fly around. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you like the video because it helps out tremendously. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.